Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siva and number name 33220070. I'm here. I wanna explain project 2 about the solving the problem. So the first one, the problem is Mr. Thompson is linguistic studying the use of language in news reporting. He is particularly interested in how language can convey bias, shape public opinion, and influence the perceptions of news events. Mr. Thompson analyzes articles from various news outlets covering the same events to identify linguistic patterns that might indicate bias. He also considers the impact of these linguistic choices on the audience's understanding and interpretation of the news. Next, the question is, what linguistic features should Mr. Thompson focus on to identify bias in news reporting? So, the first feature is word choice. Certain words can carry a strong emotional tone, either positive or negative. For example, is brutal protesters versus peaceful activities. The word brutal suggests violence while activities sounds more neutral or even positive. And then the theory is, according to critical discourse analysis SDA, language is not neutral, words carry meaning and reflect ideology. Next, framing. The second feature is framing, how the information is structured. Take these two examples. Police control the youth versus police attack the people. Both describe the same event, but the framing creates a completely different interpretation. And then the theory is, in media linguistics, framing refers to how the structure of a sentence or story can influence public perception. Next, the third feature is who gets caught in the news. If a news outlet only quotes government officials and excludes ordinary people, this can show bias. And the example is, if a news outlet only quotes government officials and doesn't include the voice of ordinary people, it might be seen a bias. And then the theory is discourse representation is linguistic show that whose voice is included or excluded reflects power and can shape opinions. Okay, now let's move to the second issues. So the problem is, imagine you are a language planner working for the government of a country with a diverse linguistic landscape. The country has several indigenous languages spoken by different ethnic groups, as well as a dominant national language used for official purposes. Your task is to develop a language policy that promotes linguistic diversity while ensuring effective communication and national unity. So the question is, how can the government promote the use and preservation of indigenous languages through education? Next, the first solution is to include local languages in the school curriculum. Local or indigenous languages can be taught as subjects in elementary or secondary schools. So the example is, in Papua, local languages are used for teaching in grades 1 to 3. And then the theory is, language maintenance suggests that education plays a key role in keeping minority language alive. Next, the second step is training teachers to teach local languages. The government can offer training programs so teachers are able to teach local languages properly. This also helps raise the social status and value of those languages. And then the theory is language planning by Haugen, 1983 highlights the importance of both corpus planning, developing the language, and status planning, improving its public image. And next, the third strategy is creating books and media in indigenous languages. Children's storybooks, songs, and local media in indigenous languages can help increase exposure from an early age. And then the theory is linguistics. Landscape explains that when a language appears in public spaces, it strengthens it strengthens the language's presence and helps it survive. So I think that's enough for me to answer the two problems above. And now the conclusion is language affects how we think, how we understand things, and how we connect with others. In the news, the word used, how stories are told, and whose voice is included can shape public opinion. In education, language policies can help keep cultures alive and bring people together. Applied linguistics help us understand how powerful language really is in everyday life. And so I think enough from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.